What is limiting you from experiencing peace with your sexuality? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In today's video, what I'd like us to do is uncover what is limiting you from experiencing peace within your sexuality. And in order to do that, we're going to uncover what some of the belief systems are that you got from childhood. So I'm excited. If you're excited, give me a thumbs up, because today we're starting with step number 2, video number 1. And this week is going to be all about looking at conscious awareness. What are some of those belief systems? Our power is our conscious awareness. The more we are in awareness of what is limiting us, the more we can choose. The more we're in conscious awareness of what is limiting us, the more we can choose how we want to live our lives, how we want to think, what we want to do. So conscious awareness is really, really powerful. So today I'd really like to encourage you to grab your journals, and we're going to open up on a brand new page. We're going to open up on a very, very new page. And we're going to be making notes in today's video, because I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions this week, because this week is about really getting to grips, uncovering what some of those belief systems are. So, those of you who are new to the Online Academy, tell me a little bit about what do you understand by the term belief system? What is a belief system? Type in the comment section below, or put it in your journal if you don't feel like sharing in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, there's also a comment section, so type it down there. What is a belief system? See, a belief system is any thought that you have about yourself in your life. Anything that you believe, anything that bringing myself back into awareness of the room. I was very distracted by something, but now I am back. See, sometimes this happens to us. We're thinking about something, our energy is in our head, and then we're going from one thing to the other thing. We're caught up in belief systems of fear, belief systems of I'm needing to be perfect, and then we get all caught up and the energy is all in our head. But when we move the energy from our head through our heart into our soul, we reconnect with who we are, so we can reconnect with the people in our lives. So I'm bringing the energy back down and I'm reconnecting with you. So a belief system is anything that we think about ourselves. Now, when we were born, what belief systems did we hold about ourselves, do you think? You were a little baby. What belief system did you hold? Type in the comment section below. You see, I believe that when we were born, we weren't even born with any belief systems, because our mind hadn't fully taken on, absorbed anything from our parents or from society. Our mind was literally just blank, and our mind was just thinking thoughts that came from our souls, that came from that very deepest part of ourselves that was divinely connected to Source and God. And we were thinking things. You see, our thoughts are very different to our belief system. Okay, so let's break that down. All right, so here we are, we're a child, and what we are doing is we're literally just we're in the present moment, and we're in kind of like a dance and expression, and we're seeing things and we're thinking things, but there's no reaction to it. It's literally coming from the outside, and we're thinking thoughts. But what happens as we grow up is between the ages of 0 and 7, we take on belief systems from those around us. So those belief systems, what happens is that we see something from the outside, we experience an emotional connection with that, and that forms a belief system, a box of what we think we should be or should do in society. So then what happens is that we're not dancing with everything that's around us. What we're doing is we're reacting to belief systems that we have. So what happens is that something happens in the outside, you see something in the outside, it bounces off of a belief system, and that belief system then creates a thought off of that belief system. Rather than just it being a dance, it goes through the belief systems, and then we then think out of the belief systems that our parents and society have given us. So this is the difference between a belief system. A belief system comes from a system. What system? Religion, society, parents, they are beliefs. Thoughts that are pure thoughts, that are just thoughts, are unfiltered. I like that. When we were born, we didn't have a filter. And what happens now is that belief systems filter our unique individual expression. I like that. So what we're doing this week is we're looking at removing the filter. Removing the filter. I heard an analogy once that was really beautiful. If you want to clean a cup that has mud in it, let's say there's mud in a cup, what happens is that you can't just remove the mud. What you have to do is just put some water in, shake it up, and remove half the water, and then it's less murky. Then what you do is you pour some more water in, and it becomes less murky the more water you put in it. But you can't just remove, it doesn't work like you can't just remove all the water, because then there's nothing left. So this is what we're doing this week. So the questions are the following. We're going to look at some of these belief systems that we trace back to childhood. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to answer the following questions for me. What did you learn about sex as a child? So write down in your journal, what did you learn about sex as a child? What were your genitals called? What were your genitals called? Was it called something specific, or was it just called down there? Did your parents have a fulfilling sex life? Write down some of those questions. I'm reading a great book at the moment. Some of what I'm teaching you this week comes from Louise Hay. There's a great workbook. And I've lost my place. So whilst you're writing that down, if you're needing some help and covering what some of those belief systems are, maybe what you feel and think about sex might be similar to this. I am afraid of sex. So maybe there is this fear associated with sex. Maybe you were taught that sex is dirty. Maybe genitals frighten me. I don't get what I want. I am the wrong shape and the wrong size. I am ashamed of my sexuality. I can't ask for what I want. Remember, we had that great interview with Hannah Sim in week 1 where we were talking about asking for your desires. Maybe you feel that you can't. God doesn't want you to be sexual. My partner won't like my body. I am afraid of dis-ease. I am not good enough. Sex is painful. So these are some of the belief systems that you might have about yourself and about your life and sexuality. So now that you've answered those questions, if you're watching the replay, pause the video, write down some of the answers to those questions, and then answer how many of these ideas that you've written down are similar to the ideas of your parents. How many of these ideas are different to your parents? And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to grab a highlighter. And I'd like you to highlight the belief systems that nourish and support you. And then with a different color, I'd like you to highlight the belief systems that don't nourish and don't support you. And then what you have is a list, and it's in different colors, belief systems that you have about yourself and sex that nourish you and those that don't. And you can see the ones that are in alignment with your truth and those that aren't in alignment with your truth. So today my invitation is for you to start becoming aware. Start asking yourself, what belief systems do I have about sex and sexuality? What belief systems do I have? Write all of them down. Write as many of them down as you can. Maybe create a note in your phone, and when you're walking or when you're working, you can think about them, and when one comes up, you write it down, you come back home, you add it to your journal, and then you highlight it. Is it in alignment? Is it nurturing you? Is it nourishing you? Is it supporting you? Or is it not? And then what we're going to do as the course goes on is we're going to release and we're going to reprogram these. But this week, all we're doing is looking at bringing those into awareness. So what did you learn about sex as a child? What were your genitals called? And was your parents' sex life fulfilling? And the beliefs that you have about yourself, those that I just read, were they similar to your parents, or are they different to your parents? The willingness within me to become aware of the belief systems that don't support and nourish me greets the willingness within you. Namaste, my beautiful souls. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.